Welcome back to the Daily Move. This is part of the 4-week challenge. This is week 3, day 4. Focusing mainly on the upper body here. You're going to need a few things, including a hockey stick. If you have a small circular weight, that would be great, but if you don't, that's okay too. We do use small weights that we are going to lift. If you have a physio ball, a chair, and something flat like a lid or even toilet paper, anything that you can rest into your hand just to show the orientation of where it's at, it's perfect. All right, grab what you need, guys, and we're going to get started here. So we're going to start here with the hockey stick. You see my elbows are in line with my shoulder socket, and then I'm rotating that hockey stick back behind my head, spinning it forward, and then dropping it down. So sliding it up, rotating back forward, and then sliding it down. We're going to perform 5 to 6 repetitions here. Watching that those elbows stay in place as you create that rotation backwards. So next, if you have that weight plate, if you've got a 5-pound weight plate, you want to slide it onto the middle of that stick there. It's not necessary. But what we're doing here is I'm pushing my hands away as if I'm going to stretch out that hockey stick. And then I'm allowing my arms to go past my head there, feeling a big stretch into my pec muscles. Holding for a few seconds and then resetting. Watch here that the ribs don't flare, so you want to have your abs slightly contracted. It's really easy to want to pick up more range of motion by back bending from the spine. So for this next one, you can keep that weight in the center, or you can drop the weight, it's up to you. You're gonna place the stick behind towards where your glutes are, and you wanna grip it so that your palms are facing backwards. What you're gonna do is you're gonna hip hinge forward, let the weight of the stick pull the hands overhead, maintain that position as you stand up, and hold for a few seconds. So bend over, let the weight of the stick come up, maintain that arm position as you stand up and hold there for a few seconds. Relax the stick down, hip hinge forward, let gravity pull it forward, maintain that arm position as you stand back up. Again, going for 5 to 6 repetitions here. And again, you could have the weight in the center there. So next you're going to take that hockey stick, put it behind, right by where your spine is, and you're going to pull upwards, feeling a stretch in that bottom arm, and then you're going to pull downwards so that you feel a stretch in the upper arm. And then you're just going to floss it back and forth at your own pace, whatever feels good. You're finding one has a little bit more of a sticky, stiffer spot, maybe spending a little bit more time breathing through that tension. And switching arms here, doing the same thing. So next we're gonna have that arm out in front of us, and we're just allowing it to go back and forward. Again, being mindful that you're not getting that range because your ribs are flaring open. Keep those abs tight, push the ribs down so that we're just working that shoulder mobility. Going back and forth here between 5 to 6 times, and then we're gonna create circles or halos with the stick. So you're gonna make a circle here, and up to you if you want to stay in the same direction or alternate sides. Doing 3 to 4 repetitions per direction. Shoulders should be feeling pretty loose now. So after this, we're going to go into a little bit more of a strengthening position. So if you have that physio ball handy, then great. And grab some weights between 3 to 5 pounds if you have them handy. Soup cans work great. So you're going to lean forward onto your physio ball here, and you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades and then lift the arms overhead, holding for a few seconds before slowly lowering down. And then you're going to repeat that. Nice straight elbows here, making sure that your neck is in a neutral position. And if you don't have a physio ball, a chair would work too. You just need to be leaning over. So you're gonna stay where you're at, but we're just gonna change the exercise up a bit. So next, what you're gonna do here is your elbows are gonna be bent, and then you're gonna reach over top of your head, bend the elbows, rotate it so the weight faces the floor, return the weight down to the ground. Bring the elbows up towards the ceiling, rotate the weight up towards your ear, and then you're going to do an overhead press where you reach on top of your head towards the wall in front of you, bringing it back down so the weight's by your ear, rotating so the weight faces the floor, and returning it down. So I call these W presses. I don't actually know what the real name is for them, but they're great for creating that shoulder strength. Again, you want to go with light weights here. You can do it with no weights at all, just working on that mobility portion. You're still gonna build strength. All right, next up, you're gonna need that chair. Your elbows are there, and you're gonna sink your chest through where your arms are. And then with your hands in a pray position, you're going to allow the thumbs to come back towards the spine there. You may feel a stretch into the triceps or into the upper back there. Both are correct. Now your choice here, you can continue to stay in this stretch, or you can grab a weight in between your hands, in between your palms. And what you can do is you can straighten out the elbows and then bend the elbows to allow the weight to come closer towards your spine, and then straighten back out again. And you can do this without the weight, just moving the arms back and forth. Going nice and slow to explore this range. And you don't have to straighten your elbows straight out to have a straight arm, just enough that you take the tension off those triceps. And then letting that weight slowly fall back towards your spine. A few more seconds here, and then you're going to want to clear some floor space. So you're sitting on your butt, hands are behind you. And it doesn't matter which way your wrists are, so you can have your fingers facing away from you or towards your butt. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna slide your butt towards your heels here, feeling a stretch into your bicep and shoulder. Play around with that hand position because you will feel different stretching sensations depending on how you put tension onto that tissue. And that determines where your hand should be. So next what we're gonna do is your fingertips are away from you and you're on the back of your hand. You're gonna scoot your butt away, nice tall chest here, feeling a stretch into the bicep and a little bit into the pec here. Be gentle with yourself. This can be quite the intense stretch. And we're not trying to push past your limits here. We want to work with your body, not against it. So next you're gonna find some wall space. You're gonna stand on up and you want your arms out like a T. Your bottom arm's gonna go down so that your chest can face the wall, bringing that other top arm overhead, creating a spinal twist here, working the shoulders and the spine. So now we're gonna face the wall and do the same thing. It always takes a repetition or two to figure out the flow. So next we're going to stand still and we're going to create circles with our shoulders, shrugging the shoulders up towards our ears, pushing them forward, and then driving them down towards the floor and retracting, creating a full circle there with the shoulders. Let's do a few forward and a few backwards with some nice deep breathing here. Now it's important to feel or notice how this feels because we are going to be doing this on our hands and our knees soon, creating the circles in our shoulders. All right, we're going to head down to the floor onto our hands and knees here. So feel free to stay here, but what we're doing is we're sinking down and then we're pressing the floor away, creating scapular push-ups. Now, if this is too easy for you, you can also do this in a push-up position on your toes. Being mindful that your elbows aren't moving here and all that motion is coming from your shoulder blades. So next we're going to go back to the hands and knees and we're going to create those shoulder circles that we were doing before. So you can push the floor away or sink down, bring them up towards the shoulder, and then retract. So you're trying to create that circle. Again, this is a new motion, so just be patient with yourself. Anytime we try anything new, it's not going to be perfect the first time. And even with practice, every time I try to improve it just a little bit more. If you want, you can try reversing directions. So next, we're going to be up against the wall here in that quadruped position, creating arm circles. So your arm's going to go up towards the ceiling. You're going to change your palm direction, bring your arm down towards your hip, and then come back to where you started. You're going to want to do between 5 to 6 repetitions on one arm, and then we'll repeat the same on the opposite arm. Being mindful again that you're not opening up with your spine, so you're not creating a spinal twist here. It's just the arm creating that circle. Switching sides here, we're going to do the same thing, creating those circles at the arm. So next you're going to want something for your hand just so that you know where your palm is in space. And we're going to create a figure 8 motion with that object. So you're going to push forward in front of yourself. Then as you bend the elbow, it's almost like you're going to try to put a hat on top of your head. Once it's there, you're going to straighten out that arm. Once that's done, you're going to bend the elbow, bringing the arm back towards your hip bone, making sure that that item is still facing the ceiling. You're going to curl it underneath, grazing the side of your ribs, and then you're going to return back to the starting position. So again, this is a new motion, so just take your time learning it. After 2 or 3 repetitions, we're going to switch sides, doing the same thing. Creating that figure 8 with that object. And you don't need the object. The object is just really good at feedback. Otherwise, it's really easy to cheat with that range. It's okay to let your spine move here. You'll notice some spots are stickier than others. Once you've done 2 to 3 repetitions here, we're going to change the direction. So you'll watch here, my hand will start straight out in front of me, and now I'm gonna lead with my elbow. So I'm gonna pull my elbow back. Once I do that, then what I'm gonna do is rotate my elbow outwards and then have my hands graze the side of my body. My shoulder's gonna have to tip forward to do that. And then I'm gonna spin my hand out towards the side. And then I have to kind of pull my shoulder blade down and back, so downwardly tipping it, in order for my back of my hand to graze the top of my hair. And then I'm gonna spin out of that, turning my palm, and then repeating that motion. Once you've done 2 to 3 repetitions, you're then gonna switch sides, repeating that again. And this is where we're gonna leave you at the end of week 3 already, just 1 week to go. Feel free to spend some more time practicing on these teacup figure eights. And like I say at the end of every video, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, hit the subscribe button, and please share it with someone who would benefit from these mobility exercises. Have an excellent day. Bye.